What would it take to pull off such a stunning trade? Why is it being discussed now? And how could it transform the championship race? Stick around, because this bombshell rumor could change everything. What's up, Dodgers fans and baseball lovers across the nation? Welcome back to the channel where we bring you the latest, craziest, and most exciting updates in Major League Baseball. Before we dive into today's absolutely jaw-dropping story, do me a quick favor, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you never miss the hottest Dodgers news and rumors. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss what's coming next, because today's topic is one that has fans buzzing, analysts debating, and rivals shaking their heads in disbelief. We are talking about the shocking possibility of the Los Angeles Dodgers pulling off a super trade with the Minnesota Twins for none other than Byron Buxton. Yeah, you heard me right, Byron Buxton, one of the most electric and polarizing players in all of baseball, linked with the Dodgers in a bombshell move that could shake up the entire league. Now, let's set the stage here. The Dodgers are already one of the most stacked, most feared rosters in the entire MLB. They've got Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Will Smith, and an endless parade of young talent and pitching depth. On paper, this is a team that doesn't need to make a massive move just to stay competitive. They're already competing at the very highest level. But that's the thing about the Dodgers front office, they don't settle for being great. They always want to be historic. They always want to push that envelope, make the bold moves, and keep their team not only at the top, but miles ahead of everyone else. And that's why this Byron Buxton rumor is creating such a frenzy. Because it's exactly the kind of shocking, aggressive swing we've come to expect from the Dodgers. So let's talk about Buxton himself. When you think of Byron Buxton, you think of pure speed, elite defense, and flashes of jaw-dropping offensive power. This is a guy who, when healthy, is one of the best center fielders in the entire sport. His defensive range is off the charts, his arm is a weapon, and his bat, while inconsistent, can absolutely change games. Remember when he was blasting home runs left and right and people were calling him a dark horse MVP candidate? That's the kind of upside Byron Buxton brings to the table. He's a game changer in every sense of the word. But here's the catch: Byron Buxton's career has been defined as much by injuries as it has been by highlights. That's the big question mark hanging over him. Can he stay on the field long enough to deliver on his insane potential? The Twins have been patient with him, investing heavily in his talent, but even Minnesota fans will tell you, it's been frustrating watching him sidelined year after year. That's why this rumor of the Twins being open to moving him in a blockbuster deal makes some sense. They could reset, free up some financial flexibility, and maybe get back a haul of prospects or ready-made talent from a team like the Dodgers, who can afford to gamble on upside because of how deep their roster already is. Now let's put this into Dodgers context. The Dodgers outfield picture right now is solid, but not necessarily untouchable. They've got Mookie Betts locked into superstar production, James Outman, who has shown flashes of brilliance but also inconsistency, Teoscar Hernandez bringing the big bat, and a mix of role players who can step in when needed. But think about adding Byron Buxton to that mix. You're talking about potentially the best defensive outfield in all of baseball, and with Dodger Stadium's spacious gaps, a guy like Buxton patrolling center field could be an absolute game changer for preventing runs and saving games. Offensively, the Dodgers don't need Buxton to be a 40-homer guy or a .320 hitter. They need him to stay on the field, bring his speed, create chaos on the bases, and contribute with timely power. Surrounded by hitters like Ohtani, Freeman, Betts, and Smith, Buxton wouldn't have to carry the offense. He'd be free to just play his game without the weight of expectations crushing him like it sometimes does in Minnesota. That could unlock the best version of Byron Buxton we've ever seen. But here's the question everyone is asking: what would it cost the Dodgers to land him? The Twins aren't just going to give him away, even with the injuries. He's still under contract, still viewed as a superstar caliber talent, and still one of the most exciting players in the league when healthy. The Dodgers would almost certainly have to part with some real talent to make this deal happen. Names like Michael Busch, Andy Pages, or even a promising young pitcher could be on the table. The Dodgers have one of the deepest farm systems in baseball, so they can afford to make a move like this, but the front office has to decide if Buxton's health risks are worth the gamble. And let's not forget, the Dodgers have been here before. They've made bold moves for stars with question marks. Remember when they traded for Mookie Betts? People said it was a massive risk, and look how that turned out. Remember when they signed Freddie Freeman to a long-term deal after the Braves let him go? People wondered if that was wise, and now he's one of their most consistent performers. The Dodgers aren't afraid to roll the dice on elite talent, and Byron Buxton fits that mold perfectly. Another angle to consider is the fan perspective. Dodgers fans are used to excellence, they're used to stars, and they're used to their team making big moves. Bringing in Byron Buxton would electrify the fan base. It would make headlines not just in Los Angeles, but across the entire baseball world. The narrative of Buxton going from a struggling star in Minnesota to a rejuvenated superstar in Dodger blue is exactly the kind of Hollywood story fans dream about. On the flip side, though, you can't ignore the potential downside. If Buxton gets hurt again, if he struggles to stay on the field, the Dodgers could end up wasting valuable trade assets for a player who never quite delivers. That's the risk you take, and that's why this rumor has people split. Some fans are saying go for it, the upside is worth it, while others are saying no way, we don't need to gamble when we're already this good. It's a fascinating debate, and one that shows just how polarizing Byron Buxton really is. Now let's play a little hypothetical game. Imagine the Dodgers do pull this off. Picture opening day at Dodger Stadium, with Buxton roaming center field, Mookie Betts in right, and Teoscar Hernandez in left. You've got Freddie Freeman anchoring first base, Ohtani as the two-way phenom, and a pitching staff that's already one of the deepest in the league. That's not just a championship roster, that's a dynasty in the making. Every team in baseball would have to look at that lineup and ask themselves, how on earth are we supposed to beat these guys? If they decide Buxton is worth it, then you better believe they see something special. So Dodgers fans, I want to hear from you. Do you think trading for Byron Buxton is a smart move? Would you give up prospects for him, knowing the injury risks? Or do you think the Dodgers should pass and stick with the talent they already have? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this is one debate where every opinion counts. And don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to the channel for more daily Dodgers updates, and share this video with your fellow baseball fans so we can keep the conversation going. Until next time, this has been your go-to source for all things Dodgers. Stay tuned, stay hyped, and remember this is Los Angeles, where big stars shine even brighter.